the Deadwood! And world famous Saloon 10. Now, this is the only museum in the world with a bar in it. That's why I love coming here, because I just love museums. Now y'all know who I am, right?
Wild Bill.
Yeah, some people call me Wild Bill. And I know why you're here, because you want to see me play some cards today, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be getting to that in a little while. Before that, I'm going to be telling some stories about myself. Now, when we get to the card playing part, I'm going to need 4 volunteers to come up and help me.
Yeah.
So when we get to that point, I want you to be thinking about it. When I ask for the volunteers, you throw your hands up, say, pick me, pick me. And depending on how enthusiastic you are, I just might pick you. So, I guess if I'm going to start, I might as well start at the beginning. I was born on May the 27th, 1837, in Troy Grove, Illinois, named James Butler Hickok. Now, you probably wouldn't have heard much about me or recognized anything about me until about 1865. Now, the Civil War had just ended, and I had fought on the side of the North as a sharpshooter and a scout and as a spy. But after the war, veterans on both sides, well, we were looking for work. We needed money. So I decided to head out west. And one of my first stops was a place called Springfield, Missouri. Woo! Yeah! What I'm talking about. Well, if you know anything about me, I like to play myself a little game of poker now and then. And I found me a good poker game, and well, sitting across the table from me was a good southern boy by the name of Davis Tutt. Now, Davis having fought on the side of the South and me on the North, well, I don't know how exactly we sat there across the table and played cards with each other that soon after the war, but we managed, and I soon found myself down $35 to Davis Tutt. Now, $35 was a tidy sum back then, of which I did not have. But I told Davis, I said, I promise you, you got my word, you'll get your money. Well, he wasn't buying that at all. He said he won some collateral, it seemed. Well, I didn't really have much to give him. All I had was my pocket watch that my daddy had given me, and I certainly wasn't going to give that up. But Davis was relentless. Finally, I told him, I said, okay, I tell you what, I'll let you hang on to my daddy's pocket watch. But you're going to get that money because that pocket watch means a lot more than $35 to me. I said, but you don't go telling people how you took it from me in a card game, because that's not how it happened. Well, the very next afternoon, the very next day, right out there in the town square, here comes Davis Tutt, swinging that watch around, taunting me with it, telling anybody who'd listen how he took it from me in a card game. Well, I yelled across the square at him to knock it off. He yelled back at me, I yelled back at him, and then what does he do? He takes a shot at me. It lands at my feet. Well, if you know anything about the West, You don't send a bullet heading towards somebody unless you expect one coming right back at you. And I don't miss. 75 yards across that town square, lined up, boom, one shot through the heart. Well, the authorities were none too happy with me about slaying a man right there in the town square. And they arrested me. Said they were going to charge me that I was liable for the death of Davis Tutt. And I said, what about self-defense? He fired at me first. All of his friends were around there, and they said, oh, he wasn't really shooting at you. He was just kind of funning with you. Yeah, I don't think he thinks it's too funny anymore. But the judge saw it my way, self-defense. So I was released and figured I'd spend enough time in Springfield and headed out of town. As I got to the outskirts, a gentleman came up to me and introduced himself. Seems his name was Henry Nickel. He was a writer for Harper Monthly magazine,